They tell na say politics na game wey be saying people they play. They play am anyhow. They don't get mercy. They don't they consider we the poor people. They don't they consider at all. Imagine PDP they accuse Peter Obi say na in cause some way they don't win. Wait till now for they win PDP. Like una wait till now for they win. Wait till now answer people who I don't plan for everywhere because I don't want not be say this platform not be for tribalism, but una know. Now because of the way things be, because people no fit they country where they no for no fit they go farm, where they for no fit they do anything, and all aims are like every direction, everything will be say we they look into now the same side now they go. So that's why. How una for te win? Mona tell me. I beg Mona check this video out because it's just too much. Una they even they think at all PDP. Una they think Mona advise una say before person go advise una.
To what you represent. Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State says you are the hero of the entire process. And what is his explanation? His explanation is that you stopped PDP from winning in the traditional places. And that for doing that, as far as he is concerned, and for making Southern presidency possible, you are his hero. Festus Keyamo, spokesperson of the APC, also waded into the matter and said, in fact, that you have served your purpose in this electoral process. That the purpose that you were to serve was to help make accus1ng Bola Ahmed Tinubu president-elect. That's his own reading of it. He says, because without you stopping the PDP in their traditional states, Bola Tinubu will not have emerged as president-elect. Number 3, Reno Omokri, who is a spokesperson for the People's Democratic Party, says, well, APC may have rigged, but that Mr. Peter Obi was the perfect rigger in that election, and that you rigged in the Southeast, that he is surprised that a candidate will be reporting 97% of the votes from certain states of the Federation. Of course, Atiku Abubakar, presidential candidate of the PDP himself, had admitted that your leaving the PDP hurt his chances in that election. What do you say to these general comments on your presidential race?
Well, Ruben, my first reaction generally is that I contested the election. I wasn't contesting it to help anybody to win. And I continue to say that even who the declared winner did not win. You might have been declared by whatever means, but you've not won the election. Ruben, to win is to win the people. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, for the people. That means if you must win, you must win the people. But if you don't win the people, you've not won. And I can tell you, the last election, the declared person did not win. However, that is what we're challenging. The rascality is what we're challenging. On the various comments, let me use the issue of Reno Omokri. Ordinarily, I won't comment on anything because I only comment on or reply fellow presidential candidates, not their spokesperson, because they're not contesting. But since something that I have never participated or been part of was mentioned, I need to reply it. Ruben, I have never, and I will never ask anybody to add one vote for me that doesn't rightfully belong to me. I've never paid anybody to rig election for me. Go all over Nigeria and ask anybody in INEC, the so-called EOs, resident commissioner, everybody, whether any of them have met Peter Obi saying do this. Go and ask police, army, anybody. Never. They are referees. It is their job to do their job. This show where I got 97% is in Anambra State. Reno Mokri forgot that in 2019, go and check the records, where PDP had the highest vote was in Anambra State. When in 2019, when I was vice presidential candidate to Atiku, our vote in Anambra State was 95 point something, almost 96%. That's where PDP got the highest vote, because I was on that ballot. And they know me. Remember, I live in Onitsha. If you want to know whether I get 95% in Anambra State, come and go to Anambra State with me. I don't need police. When I come out, you see the reaction of the people. In fact, I'm actually surprised I didn't get 100%. I'm telling you, because I don't know who will be voting against me in Anambra State. In the Southeast, it's a similar situation. People know me. People know what I stand for. People know I've kept to my promises. People know I've kept to what I've said. It's a simple thing. It's like people go about and say, oh, he got votes in Lagos because of the Igbos. Remember how many Igbos live in Lagos? I got more votes from the indigenous in Lagos than those who are, you can call visitors. Are the Igbos in Nasarawa? Are the Igbos in Plateau? Are the Igbos in Abuja? In Rivers, where you know that the governor came out against me, and everything, I said, if the real vote of Rivers were counted, Ruben, I won. I have over 50-something% of the vote. The other two parties were sharing the order. And it was, I won in Asoro. So, will you say it's rigging? Which machinery do I have to rig? I have no councillor, I have no local government chairman, no this thing. I'm not in control of police. I don't even know any DPO. So which machinery will I use to rig? How will you do? They are the ones who I believe in this. What they are doing is what I'm trying to change. So those who tell you I've satisfied what I came for are part of the people we're trying to change.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about the obedience movement, especially post-presidential election. Now, what some of your candidates under the Labour Party umbrella vying for governorship, of the role of governor, is coming under that umbrella of the obedient movement. And some people have said that, say what you may about the presidential elections, something has changed, something has happened, there's a force. And that was driven largely by the obedient movement. And so the question post-presidential elections is, how are you going to leverage that power, that force, so it's channeled to what you want, your beliefs, your ideals, your values, because it's also very easy for such a force to be misdirected, because there's such momentum, passion behind that movement. How would you leverage that? Number one. Two, to channel it towards the governorship elections. We have Lagos GRV, we have Mr. Ken Pella, who came from Delta State, and a few other principles like that in other states. Then beyond that, on a lighter note, you're known for, you've just reconfigured the term beavers. So it's originally called Bimodal Voter Accreditation System, and you've now called it Best Values Acceptable to Society. Please,
Basic
values, acceptable to society. If you'd like to shed more light on that on a lighter note, it would be great.
Well, let me start with the obedient movement. Because Nigerian politics have been largely transactional. When we were starting this, people didn't believe what we were trying to do. The consequence is that